Spinach and rice stew is one of my go-to dishes. It takes about 10 minutes to put together. I always make this when I come back and I'm tired and I want to eat something quickly with full of nutrients. As you know, spinach is very good for you, full of iron. So this dish has got literally 3 or 4 components to it, and that's it. You don't need to think too much. It's just a base of onions that are finely chopped, garlic. I put the spinach in, let it wilt down, and then put a tiny bit of water to create a stock, and a green chili. Again, you can omit that if you want, but I like spicy food. And then let it sit and simmer. While that's cooking for about 5 to 10 minutes, you put your rice on, let it steam, and that's your dinner sorted. And it's delicious to eat with some radish on the side and a squeeze of lemon juice. This is a great thing to eat. Like at home, we are very vegetarian focused, even though we eat lots of meat. And before labels of vegetarianism and vegan came along, this is what our food was. And now everything has a label. So I wouldn't shy away from it if you think meat is the only way to have dinner, because this is great. So you want to finely chop everything. Put about 2 onions or about 500 grams of spinach and as much or as little garlic as you want. I'm going to put the pan on with some sunflower oil to let the onions saute first, and then I'll add the garlic because it burns quite quickly. So we want to have a little base for it. And then we'll add the spinach. And you want to gently let this flavor out of the onions so they sweeten up. Otherwise, it's just a bit bland. So I'm just going to put the pan on, get the oil on, heat it up, and put the onions in. I've got some sunflower oil here. And I'm going to put them in before the oil gets hot, so they just get to the temperature at the same time. And while they're cooking slowly, I'm going to get onto the garlic. And actually, I'm going to put the chili in now, so the flavor of the spices can just go into the oil. Again, you want to finely chop this. You don't want to get big clumps of garlic in your mouth. And it also helps them to sort of cook down while they're in the pan. I know it sounds like a very simple dish, but once you've got all the components together with the radish, the lemon, the spinach, the onion and the garlic, with the rice and then the stock, it's so delicious. And I'm going to just do this now. I'm just going to get a little ladle to stir this. Right, and these are nicely going slightly caramel. You don't want them to go too brown because then they'll be a little bit bitter. And they will soften because you're going to have a little bit of water in here to make a stock. So about 3 or 4 minutes, and I think we can put this in. It will always look like you've got way too much spinach, but this will wilt down to about a small cupful, which is about 3 or 4 servings. So always add more if you want. And I prefer to use baby leaf spinach rather than the big ones because they're quite tough. So these ones just soften down quite quickly. And just a tiny pinch of salt. And now while these are wilting down, I'm going to start with the rice. It's literally just boiled water, rice and some salt. I add the water after the spinach has wilted because if you put it in now, the spinach will just stay in the same shape. This is looking really good. You can see the spinach is starting to wilt and you want the colour to stay, so as soon as it gets soft, add the water at that point. It will stop the colour from going slightly grey, brown. So the spinach has just wilted down enough. Now I'm just going to add about 2.5 cups of water and let it simmer very gently. We don't want it to overboil. And now I'm just going to leave the lid on. Give it a quick stir. And then put the rice on. So with the rice, I'm just going to turn the heat up. Put a tiny bit of vegetable oil, just so it doesn't stick. And I'm using basmati rice in this. A little bit of salt. And again, some water just to cover it by an inch. And then this should be done in about 12 to 15 minutes. And that's it. Easy, delicious, and very, very good for you. So the spinach has been on for about 12 minutes and the rice has also been at the same time. So this is ready. We're just going to now serve everything together. But the rice is lovely and fluffy. I'm going to put some in a plate and then ladle the spinach with the stock and then serve it with some radish and lemon. That's the best way to eat it. And lemon actually activates the iron in the spinach, so it's always a good thing. It helps you digest it better. It's so good for you. Look at that. And always serve with a little bit of the sauce because that's where all the onion and the garlic flavour is. And if you like, to add the chilli. It's supposed to be quite soupy and stocky, so don't panic. Serve with a wedge of lemon and a few radish. And your meal is ready. Quick, easy, and very, very good for you.